Alf, how are you? I hope you've had an amazing weekend. I had my dad tell me this weekend that he watches at least the intro of every video, and he's watching just to see if I might say, "Hey, Dad." And so in this video, I'm going to say, "Hey, Dad, thanks for watching." It's no secret that modern baseball cards and modern baseball card players are absolutely red hot in the hobby right now. We got baseball season kicking off. And if you're a baseball card collector, I think it might be the best time ever to be a baseball card collector, just given all the excitement around new players and new product, coupled with all of the amazing vintage and pre-war goodness. And then, of course, you've got a lot of the 80s and the 90s, the early 2000s type stuff as well. That's really cool. The different inserts and parallels and options. So for baseball card collectors, there's a zillion different options at all different price points across all eras. But I think that we also have to be careful not to get too caught up, especially when we're talking about the new products, new players. We can't forget the fundamentals never change when it comes to speculating on new players. Before I dive in, huge thanks to today's video sponsor, Pristine Auction. If you want all the non-sports, sports cards, sports memorabilia, a huge variety of different things, you want to check out Pristine Auction. The SCD promo code gives you $25 off your first auction victory. If you want to consign with Pristine Auction, tell them Sports Card Dad sent you, and you will get a special deal to consign over there at Pristine. They've got daily auctions, weekly, the elite monthly auctions. They've got live selling going on. Make sure to check out Pristine and don't forget to use the promo code. Speaking of promo codes, you've never submitted to PSA or you got a friend that's never submitted to PSA, take $25 off your first submission with the SCD25 code at the shipping and billing screen. Make sure you remember to do that. Shipping and billing screen. Put the SCD25 promo code in and you will get $25 off, only a one card minimum. SlabMags, you want to display your best cards in style? It's got to be a SlabMag, and you want to protect the surface as well as the autograph from fading. One of the only ones left on the internet with a 10% off your order code. It's the Sports Card Dad promo code over at SlabMags for 10% off your order. All right, so coming off of the heels of a Paul Skeens debut patch auto card, magnificent card, that just sold for $1.1 million. I talked about a couple days ago on a video, Jeremy Lee, our buddy over there at Sports Cards Live, he landed a monster card as well, Shoeless Joe Jackson, 1914 Cracker Jack, and he got it for $150,000. A hell of a lot of money, but are you telling me that you could get 5 or 6 copies of the Shoeless Joe Jackson card, if you could even find them? They're not easy to find. There's not that many that have been graded. For the price of one debut patch Skeens card? Wow, doesn't that kind of put things in perspective? And I think it's a good time to talk about this. Again, we said the baseball card market is absolutely red hot. People are having a lot of fun chasing these cards, and I don't want to ruin the fun. Look, I'm also speculating on a new player. Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is the person that I'm putting actually a pretty decent amount of money into, because I think that she is transformative within her particular league. I think that's where she stands out compared to all the other prospects that have come out here over the last year or so. Also, the Indiana Fever are going to be nationally televised. I believe it's 41 out of their 44 games this season. So there's going to be a lot more people actually watching the games than maybe last season, as she was just coming out as a rookie. If she stays healthy, if she can play up to how she played last year, I am speculating, again, one man's opinion, I am speculating, I think more and more people will gravitate to her story, to the cards, and so forth. Plus, she just doesn't have a lot of sets out. There's just not a lot. You've got Panini Instant type stuff. You've got, the Bowman U stuff from Topps, the college stuff. And then you've got Select and you've got Prism, and there's really just not a lot of options for her cards. So I'm having some fun speculating on Caitlin Clark. But let's go back to baseball. It wasn't that long ago. I can remember during the last big sports card boom, which of course was the late 80s, early 90s into 1994. And it was similar in the sense that people were chasing guys like Greg Jeffries, Todd Van Poppel. Do we have pictures that we can post here? Todd Van Poppel, the A's pitcher. Now again, Todd Van Poppel, phenom pitcher coming out. There's a lot of these guys that have come out here over the years. And as you can see here, you've got, his main rated rookie card for $1. Now, that doesn't mean that Paul Skeens cards are all going to be $1 at some point. It's a different time. It's a completely different time. This is essentially a base card, rookie card, for Todd Van Poppel. Skeens is going to have all sorts of different refractors and numbered cards and autos. And there's a whole variety of different things that are going on when new players come out in today's world. But the fundamentals are the same in that if the career goes sideways, then the cards are going to go sideways, no matter how much hype and anticipation that there was coming into the league. And we've seen it over and over again over the last few years. I would say the sport that's really been hit hard is basketball. Man, when you think back, There was Luka and Trey, which Luka, fantastic, having a fantastic career so far. He's been it. He's been one of these it guys, top 5 NBA player. He has now been traded to the Lakers, which is interesting. And of course, that's got some more juice behind his cards and kind of the belief that, okay, now he's on the Lakers. He's playing in a big city. You know, maybe that means titles down the road for Luka. Maybe even this year. Who knows? I think that's a stretch for this year, but stranger things have happened. Then you go, Trey Young, okay. And then, the next year you've got Ja Morant, Zion Williamson. These guys have turned out to be good players, but think about the hype. Think about the amount of money these cards were going back in time when they came out. And even just going back a couple years, they were still expensive, very expensive cards. And then again, you just kind of move forward, look at all the draft classes, and even Wembanyama, who looks absolutely insane. The guy is amazing. He's got blood clot issues that have to be worked out. There's risk associated, of course, even with Wemby. So the basketball, if you look at really the last 6-7 years, a ton of great talent that's come out, but you can't really pinpoint over the last 6-7 years which one of these guys or the couple of these guys are going to be that next generational player. LeBron, Steph Curry are moving on, and then you've got the next guys. Luka is probably the closest to it out of any of these guys, but we will have to see. And of course, with baseball, there's all sorts of baseball prospects where there's loads and loads of money spent on these guys. And of course, a lot of them don't pan out, or they have a great rookie season, but then they have a sophomore slump. Think about quarterbacks. Think about the NFL quarterback carousel. Man, a lot of money put in to speculate on that new quarterback coming in, and most of the time, it doesn't go well. I mean, most of the time, that's just the way that it is, and even for guys that have really good careers. I think about guys like Drew Brees. I'm a New Orleans Saints fan. Drew Brees is a guy that's had an amazing career. His cards, though, after he's retired, he's been out of the league for a couple of years, his cards have moved down in price, a lot of them, which has been great for me as a Brees collector. I can get really nice Brees stuff for a fraction of the cost of a lot of other players, especially guys like Tom Brady, for example. Kevin Durant would be another guy. Go back a few years, there was so much hype around Kevin Durant rookie cards. Amazing player. This is like one of the best players ever to play NBA basketball, but his card's kind of slowly fading. He's not really on any sort of a contender. Who knows what's going to happen in the offseason. He's not the most likable guy in the world, but he's just one example of many. And these are guys that had great careers. I think about with Paul Skeens, though, man, just think about a guy like Randy Johnson, the big unit, coming out. Could you imagine if the big unit was coming into Major League Baseball now?
Here's a swing and a miss on a ball that bounces in, and there's another one. There is 17. Swing, did he get him? He did. On a breaking ball over the shoe tops, and there is number 18.
Just with how intimidating the guy was, it would be insane. And it's really too bad, because if Randy Johnson did have, a debut patch 1/1, man, what a card, just given his career, everything that he did over the length of his career and his personality and just like the presence that he was on the mound, this huge left-hander, that would have been really cool. So anyway, Skeens is kind of one of these guys, and of course you're going to have cards every year of these guys coming out. We got Cooper Flagg coming out of Duke for basketball. There's going to be excitement now every year. Every time there's rookie hype, there's going to be a lot of money flowing in behind it. But I think that we also just have to remember to check ourselves, just keep in mind that the fundamentals have not changed at all one bit, that there's still not many of these guys that turn into all-time greats or generational players. Some of them don't even end up being the best guy on their team, so keep that in mind as we are prospecting, speculating. It's all in good fun. All right, friends, have a great week ahead. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.